With our young person advisory group, we obviously want to have voices of young people in the research, some of the research that we do, but also there's an opportunity about building capacity of public voices in the research that we do. Catch them young, keep them entertained their whole lives, like there's a lot of power there to be able to do that. So we're going to hear from our young people some of the things that they've learned and gained from being part of a young person advisory group. So first up, we have Sadia.
I'm here to talk to you about my journey, which we are calling Lost and Found. So I graduated university in 2019 and I had no idea what I wanted to do. I graduated in history. I knew that I liked history and I knew I didn't want to be a teacher, so that left me with no options. So whilst I was kind of fumbling about trying to figure out what to do, I started volunteering for a mental health charity called Awakening Minds. And through that, the lovely Nazreen was involved with Anila, who mentioned that she wanted young people to set up an advisory group, and Nazreen just said, Sadia, as a young person, take her, just take her. And I've been here ever since, and it's been wonderful because throughout my journey with ARC, with the YPAG, I've learnt what I want to do. So I have become a consultant in racial and health equity, and I still do all my lovely YPAG stuff, and I will stay as long as they will have me. But through the confidence that I've gained, through the direction and the help that I've received by the ARC, I now sit on one of the NIHR funding panels as a reviewer. I work with the Health Ombudsman, and I'm also an ethics advisor for Greater Manchester Police. So some amazing, thank you, some amazing opportunities that only came to me because I was involved in YPAG. So there, even if you don't want to be a researcher, there is such goodness out of getting involved with the ARC in general.
So I'm Tawheed, and I'm going to take you on a bit of a story about my journey. So cast your minds back to July 12th, 2022. It's a lovely Tuesday in Preston, and there is a graduation ceremony going on at UCLan University. So picture yourselves as the audience, as being the audience, very nice. And you hear my name being called out. I walk on stage, I shake hands with the professor, accept my award, walk across the stage to a round of applause, give a wave to my mum and my sister watching, and, you know, I feel on top of the world. I've just gotten first class honours in a Bachelor of Science for Computer Games Development. Whole world is ahead of me. Then you skip a few months. Then you skip a few months. Then you skip a few more months. It's 2023. New Year's hit. Still not have a job. Not through lack of effort, mind you. I've been through many interviews. But, you know, nothing ever worked out. But I get a phone call sometime in February from one of the companies I'd applied for and done multiple interviews with. They're like, we want to give you a contract. And I'm like, yes, finally. And this is fantastic, you know, it's a games company, so it's the industry I want to be in. It's not quite dream job, but it's very close. I'm on top of the world. Get the contract signed, get it done. April comes, I'm starting my new job, feels great. You skip a few months. I'm out the job. Oh dear. Absolutely crushing. There were many factors why that didn't work out. Some of it me, some of it not me. But now I'm out of a job. I've just come out of uni, took ages of time to get a job, and I'm out. So I start looking again. And you skip a few months. And you skip a few months. You get to near the end of the year. And my lovely sister, this one, basically grabs me and says, hey, you want to come to this event in Manchester? It's at Whitworth Gallery. And it's with a group called YPAG. You know, they're looking for more boys. They've not got many. They're also looking for Asians. You're an Asian boy, and you're young. I'm like, yeah. I mean, I guess I don't really have a choice, do I? And she's like, no, you're coming along. I'm like, great. I'm being dragged along to this random event. I have no idea what's going on. So I get there, and I'm like, oh my God, I should not be here. I am nervous. I am out of my depth, and I'm thinking, I really have just been dragged to some random place I don't know. But then I'm with the YPAG group, and not only are all of them very nice, they give me someone to sort of guide me around, be a helping hand. Not my sister, which is actually quite a good thing, so I can learn not to be clingy to her. And this guiding hand was simply fantastic. Helped me bed in really quick, helped me get used to everyone, guided me around, and at the end of the day, I was like, I can get behind this. This is great. So officially joined the group at the end of 2023. So now we're into 2024. And now I'm not just skipping months. Sure, I'm still not getting a full-time job at all. I'm trying, I'm getting interviews and everything, but nothing landing. But I'm not skipping a few months. I'm doing events with the YPAG. I'm building my skills. I'm building my network. I'm building everything. I'm getting a little bit of money on the side as well, which always helps. You know, especially when you're unemployed, any money helps. And I'm not skipping months. I'm going through it all throughout the year. Didn't get a job, but that doesn't matter. And then August 2024 hits, and I do get a job. Well, I get a contract. The job starts in April of 2025. So a bit of a long wait, but that's exciting. But also, that means I don't have to skip months to wait for that job to start because I'm doing YPAG stuff. I'm building my skills. I'm building my relationships. I'm building my network. I am building up. And so when I finally do start that job in April 2025, go onto the graduate scheme, meet a group of similar position people, I can get on with them. I can build relationships with them. I can build a network with them. And so I am flourishing at my work. It's been about half a year now, and it's going great. You know, I've made it past my 6 months probation, completely clear that. I've got a year left on that graduate scheme before I just advance it to just being a regular employee there, not a graduate. And, you know, without the YPAG, I don't think I would have done any of that. I think I would have just wasted away for an entire year. So that's my journey.
Hello everyone, I'm Tashinga. I usually go by Tash and I am a YPAG member as well. I think my journey started when I was about 18, which feels very old because that was like 4 years ago, where I got like a late diagnosis of my ADHD. That really affected me in terms of, I'd say, my mental health and also how I looked at the past stuff in terms of like academics and school like that, thinking, oh yeah, I could have had more help than I did. But actually I'm really happy it happened because of what's followed. So Anila was helping me as well, she's been amazing. And you encouraged me to start doing the Hidden Project, wasn't it, with Adam. I met all these guys, amazing people. And then that also encouraged me to do my mental health nursing, which I never would have done if I didn't know this was a thing. I think when we first started the YPAG, it was so small, wasn't it? It was the beginning, and it's just blossomed into something amazing. It's also allowed me to like advocate for myself in health, but also other patients. And I think as well, being a second immigrant, is that the right phrase? Yeah. Yeah, I find that really important, and also being a woman as well, like being a black woman, a lot of the time we're in situations where we always have to push for healthcare, and having two younger sisters, this is where I feel I need to empower them. I need to make sure they're not having the same disadvantages I did. So with that, from Hidden, we did YPAG, and then Anila recommended me to do the ADHD study. That was like 2 years, and we had meetings every 6 months. And it'd be about doing surveys and we're reviewing them for GPs on questions about what they have for ADHD patients. I thought that was the end after the 2 years, but it's actually grew even more where we are now developing an app as well for people with ADHD and also AI as well, like ChatGPT, a version of that to help people with ADHD and accessing healthcare. Trying to think, is there anything else I'm missing?
Where are you up to now? So that full journey on what you're doing now, what you're doing now.
I've not got my glasses as well, guys. Sorry, I broke them this morning. But yeah. And then also as well, I have been working with 42nd Street in a job that I never thought I'd be doing. I'm training youth workers on trauma and also self-care, safeguarding, which is something I never thought would be a thing, especially me coming to them as older people and being like, I'm going to train you. But it's been amazing, honestly, and even organisations like Young Manchester have also changed their safeguarding policies as well, based on our training. I mean, also, we've done a lot with like social media as well. So I think I can't.
You did it all.
But yeah, it's just, and I think as well, I've got into a place where I'm happy doing what I need to do. Like, and also I've been able to be creative as well, like creating logos, stuff like that, which I never had time for. But now it's literally my job, and doing all of that, it's amazing. And yeah, just thank you, everyone. Yeah. But yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Tash. Amazing journey there.
Hi everyone, I'm Ashkan, and I'm a part of the YPAG and a research assistant. So I originally joined YPAG when I was in my final year of undergraduate psychology, and if anybody knows that course, it is very difficult to get experience for anything because of ethics and just regulations. So when I joined YPAG, I was so grateful for all of the discussions and the events that we were having. And through those events, the thing that I enjoyed the most was networking, because we'd meet so many people, and people that I wouldn't really come across usually. And through that, I met Dr. Sarah Parry, who isn't here today, but she is a godsend. And I got involved in My Voice Matters in Research, which was just an event to represent the voices of young people who often go unheard. And we were given the chance, though, Beatrice, we did it together, but we were given the chance to host the event. So we were given full creative control. We literally came up with where we would host it, what we would do, the activities, food, reimbursement, quite literally everything, which obviously at first was quite a daunting task. And we were given full support. We worked with Pennine, MMU, University of Manchester, and obviously NIHR. But it was such a supportive environment. And anytime somebody mentions co-production or collaboration, that's where my mind goes to straight away, because it's such a true representation of co-production. We were there from the very start of planning it to then having Seven Nation meetings afterwards. And we weren't left at any stage. We were always included, always supported. And if we had any questions, there was always somebody there to answer it. So that is where I was last year, February 24. Since then, I became a research assistant on the same project. So it's just a bit of a 180. Yeah, a bit of a 180 to go from the young person hosting it to now being the one working with young people. But I'm so grateful for that experience, because I now know what engages young people, what works, what doesn't, and how to better show up for them and include them. So yeah, that is where I'm at the minute, and we're also running output workshops at the minute, doing thematic analysis. Yeah, there is a bit of a plug. Yeah, we are. We do have one next week if anybody wants to attend. But yeah, it's just been a full circle moment of gaining initial skills to now I can help young people, other young people, gain those same skills and more, and for me to also grow my own skills in lots of different aspects that I didn't think that I would get the chance to.
Hi again, I'm Beatrice. I'll just be rapid though, because you've already heard from me. But I started YPAG when I was 16, and I'm 21 now, so you can tell it's been a long time getting involved. So being part of the YPAG has helped me grow. And as I said earlier, community connecting is like the biggest part of my growth that I can say is really significant. Because obviously it's not just about me, but it's about like the community around me. I built trust, and I was able to communicate confidently. Like, this is not the first time we're speaking in front of people. We've been doing these things a lot of times, and I can say all of us can speak now in front of people. So again, when I was 16, we started with Adam's story. Tash like she said something about it. Recorded a podcast about a young person's mental health, and it just showed me how storytelling can create, can create real changes in the community. So again, I've become more confident, especially through the community connecting, and I've also learned about like cultures. One significant story is when we went to the Chinese community with Anila, and don't know why silly me couldn't tell that everyone had a cup of tea on the table, but Anila was like, would you like a cup of tea? And I was like, nah, I'm fine, thank you. But I didn't clock that it's part of the culture. You have to like have tea to be able to speak to the people like that. So I learned. I know she whispered, she's like, yeah, you need the tea. And I was like, okay, that's fine. But yeah, that's part of my growth.
Hi, I'm Amber, and I will be the last YPAG speaking to you. And I just wanted to talk to you about my journey and what I've gained from YPAG and what I'm looking forward to give back. So something I've always struggled with in starting in high school was public speaking and presenting. And I remember in high school, there was a lot of, towards the end of high school when we were taking more leadership roles, there was a lot of presenting to the younger students, and I had nightmares about it. It was awful. I got so anxious. I wouldn't be able to do it. I'd go back and forth all day about, like with the teachers, about what I could and couldn't do, and it never ended well, basically. And then going into college, that was when lockdown was big, so my college experience was a bit all over the place. There wasn't a lot of the social side of things. There wasn't a lot of the presenting and getting used to that stuff. And so I didn't gain that experience and that comfortableness with it through that. And then there was going into university with it, and obviously that's a lot of presenting. So I struggled a lot with it, and I had to get a lot of support and guidance from like different staff, and it was not something that I really enjoyed. And then I joined YPAG in my second year of university, and I would not have been able to do this at the start of my YPAG journey. At the start of the YPAG things that I was involved with, I was very quiet. I just kind of observed. I never would have stood up here today, and it took a lot of getting used to, but I really wouldn't have been able to do it without the support in place that we have. So I wouldn't have been able to stand up here today without all my other YPAG here with me. And without Anila and Joanna just to support all the time and always make sure we're prepared. We had meetings leading up to this about how we're going to present and what the room's going to look like and what order we're going to go in, and just all the information so that we're never unprepared for anything. And it's a major thing that I've learned, and it's now something that I don't necessarily dread. I'm not necessarily a natural at it yet, but I'm getting there. And yeah, I think I've grown a lot through that.